All right, welcome back to another live. I'm your host, Joseph Lewin, and today's guest is Neco Turkienicz. Hope I said that right.
Absolutely. You did.
And yeah, we're going to be talking about video today. And I've definitely created and edited a couple thousand videos over the years, and so this will be a fun conversation because I think we align on quite a bit of our perspective on video and how to do it. I feel like a lot of people really work themselves up about video to where they're like, oh, I've got to have all this professional equipment or studio, or I gotta have an in-person crew that's going to do video. And even though there can be value in some of that stuff, it's very difficult to actually create enough video to see the value if you have to pay a crazy amount of money to consistently get it done.
Absolutely.
So we're going to be diving into how to create professional videos without necessarily having the professional budget that you might think you need to have to be able to do it. So um, let's just start out with a baseline, keep it pretty simple. um, Neco, do you need to have a professional studio, or have a film crew to come in to create professional quality videos?
Absolutely no. No, you don't. You don't need to have a professional studio. Of course, you can, but as you already mentioned, it will cost you a lot of money, and it's all about return on investment here. Like you, because businesses do video not just to do video. It's not like a nice picture that you're gonna hang on your wall. You do video with a goal. Video is a tool, and you have to relate to it as a tool, and has to have a goal. And in order to achieve that goal, that's the way you need to create a video. Do you need a professional studio to do that? Sometimes if you want to do a very fancy or more professional branding video, yeah, you would want to have a video crew come to your office, but that's one thing. But if we're talking about video that helps you in sales or helps you on your marketing, no, you can easily do it with your phone. Like, technology helps us today a lot. Our phones have excellent cameras. So I would say, to get started, all you need is a smartphone. I would say with a tripod, uh, um, not handheld, and a microphone. A lapel microphone could be a wired lapel microphone that connects to your phone, or a Bluetooth uh, microphone. But that's an important thing to remember, because our phones have excellent cameras, but their
Yep.
mics are very wide. What does that mean? It means that they catch a lot of background noise. That's why when people record their videos with their phones, many times you hear a lot of background noise or that big echo. So you want your audio to be clean. It's super important. So
Yep.
inexpensive, fairly inexpensive. You can find the lapel microphones for $10 or $20, a little bit better, and connect it to your phone. Then you have all the equipment you need. If you have lights, if you have a ring light or LED light, yes, you always want to be lit. But you can use a window, like it can just be in
Yep.
front of a window. Yeah. So
Yeah, it's a
long, long,
really
long answer to a short question. Sorry.
no, it's a great answer, and I'll second that because I've been doing videos since probably 2014. I've been doing videos and as a career, uh, or at least as a large part of what I've been doing. And originally, I was starting out with a lot of expensive equipment, and I had a nice DSLR camera that I would use on a regular basis, but I also filmed um, with a couple of filming crews, and we were using red cameras and super expensive equipment. And I stuck to that for a really long time. And then over the last few years, I've really defaulted to a much more simple setup that I can use wherever I go, that I can transport super easily.
Yeah.
And over the last year, I've gotten this isn't for a business account, but on an account that I have, I've gotten almost 100 million views now in the last year. And I switched to my phone for all my content. I don't use a DSLR at all, just because of the complexity of the setup and how much more editing and how many more steps I need to do to use that equipment. So it's not only the equipment itself, but it's like how much you have to spend or how much time you have to put in to edit and use that video after the fact tends to go up the more fancy of equipment that you have.
Absolutely. And then you ask, why do you need that? Are you doing a TV commercial? Are you doing a commercial for the movies? No. Basically, as a business, you're creating video for social media, for online consumption. That's what you need. And again, our phones have the capability. Most of them today have the capability of creating 4K footage with 3 different cameras. So you don't need more than that. You really don't need more than that in terms of technical quality.
Yeah, and I want to go a little bit further into the tech, but I want to touch on the mic piece first, because it is actually a super important piece, and it's become super easy, like you said, to solve. And so right now I'm way too close to my camera because I'm working from my sister's house in Virginia Beach for the next month. So my spot's really small. So I have my camera a little bit too close. But normally you really want your camera to be a little bit further away, kind of like how you have it right now, right? Where you're able to see more of your body, more of your hands. And so that becomes a bigger problem when you're using a phone, because if you get it far enough away from you to where it's actually a comfortable distance, then the audio quality is going to be terrible because it's going to pick up everything in the background. And so so I mean, even if you hold it close, it could still do that. But if you get far enough away, you're going to really start having that problem. And so, like you said, having a stable camera and having the audio quality is really way more important than the actual video quality itself. It's much better to watch a stable, good sounding video that's slightly lower quality than it is to watch an amazing video that's all shaky and you can't understand what the person's saying.
Yeah, I always like to remind people that audio is 50% of the video, at least 50%. Because as you said, a video may look very, very good, but if you can hear it, it's a lot of background noise, you can hear it well, people will not watch it. So it's super important, and people tend to neglect that part. So I have a good camera, and that's enough. So
I'd love for you to, if you have specific brands or a specific recommendation. If you don't, that's totally cool. But do you have any brands that you would recommend, or any specific products for lapel mics? Because there's so many different things out there.
Truth is, I don't, because there's no need. Seriously, because I could say names, but it's if you go to Amazon and you can find a lot of decent mics. If you want, I can give you some links of mics that I've been using. If you want to share afterwards the notes, that are pretty good quality, but they are very, very affordable. When I'm working with my clients, usually I send them mics, and it's part of the production. And those are not very expensive mics, but as I said, for as low as $20 or less, you can get a very decent mic, one that is, or a set of mics. The microphone that I've been using, I'll give you an example. The microphone that I've been using for my videos, and I record a lot. I post 6 times a week, short videos, recording with my phone always, and using a mic that I would say cost me like $25, and it's with a magnet, and it's very convenient, very good quality. Works perfectly. So, but I can give you some links afterwards. I don't remember the names right now.
Yeah, and I definitely want to just re-emphasize this. I know we've already said it a bunch, but this part's so important, because if you get your mic and your audio quality wrong, you're going to have tons of issues, and you really don't have to overcomplicate it. I've been using, this is like the Neewer CM28. right now it's on sale for like 85, but it's normally just over $100. So it's a little bit more expensive, but it's not super crazy expensive, and it's got 2 mics, and
Oh
then
yeah,
the part that connects right into my phone. So then I just connect it directly into the phone. You don't need any, because back in the day, you usually had to have some kind of a recording device and sync up your audio and all this
yeah.
complicated stuff, right? And now just plug it right into the bottom of my phone, and
No
it
need.
gets
Yeah,
great quality audio synced right up to the video on my phone. Like, don't overcomplicate this stuff. Use something
absolutely.
simple. Awesome. Well, we talked a little bit about the tech. We kind of said, okay, you can create a pretty high quality video with just your phone. You don't have to get too crazy with it. You've already spent the money on having a smartphone, most likely, so might as well get the max use out of it, right? Then it's easy. Like, I know if you're going to work with somebody like you guys, they can obviously then send that footage to you. But alternatively, if you film it on your phone, you can just edit it on your phone also, right? So if you have the time and
You
energy to
can.
do that, when you record it on your phone, it's also a lot easier to edit it and do that right on your phone. Whereas in the past, I used to use all kinds of editing software, and I still do for certain videos. But for most of the stuff I do with my phone, I'm just editing it right on my phone, and it
Yeah,
makes it a lot
yeah.
easier.
You can do that, and you have different tools that you can use, like CapCut or even Premiere Rush that you can use on your phone. And maybe because I've been a professional editor for 25 years, I prefer to edit in my computer. Just I'm used to working with 2 screens, but you don't need that. You don't need that, and you can definitely videos for social media for sure. You can edit on your phone. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd love to break down. Okay, so now we've talked about, okay, you've got this equipment, and talking through that piece of it. But then, what do you actually create? What videos should you create? So I'd love for you to share about 2 or 3 videos that every business should have.
Wait,
Hey, buddy.
this is my grandson.
All good. Hey, buddy. How's it going?
Well, life is life.
Life is life, man. Hey, that's
Yeah.
the beauty of working remote, right? You get to
Yes.
see the fam.
Absolutely. So the different types of videos for a business, I would divide it. There's different types. They need different approach. I would say, and I wouldn't start from the ones that you necessarily do with your phone, but I will talk about it, of course, which are most of them. But I would say the first video that I always think any business needs to have. You can call it a branding video, you can call it an explainer video, but you need to have something on your website, unless you don't have a website, but that's very rare. But you need to have a
Another
video.
problem for another video.
Exactly. There are a few when someone is checking you out, or they are looking for a service and they get to your website. If there's a video on your first page above the folders that say,
Yeah.
there's a much larger, and this is statistically proven, there's 83% more of a chance that people will continue watching if you have a video there than people reading. So that's very important. So I always say you should have a video in a very clear place. 1 second.
No worries.
Ana, eu tô numa entrevista, faz favor. About that. I'm sorry.
No worries. All good, man. Don't sweat it.
So I was saying that a branding video is important. Now that's not that's a video that it's not about telling your story. It's really about telling how you help your clients. That's the main thing that video has to say. A little bit about you, yes, but it's not about you. It needs to be about how you help your clients. That is something that you can do with your phone, yes. I would say that for a branding video, it's better to have someone help you
Yeah.
with it. That's because that's something that will stay there. It's not to use only on social media. It represents your company, your brand. So that's the kind of video that I would say, yeah, you would want professional help. There are different ways to create such a branding video. You can do it on location with a professional crew, or you can do it remotely, which is the way I do it in my company. We do both, but today with the technology we have, we can do it remotely. So that's one type of video. Now,
Well,
the
real quick,
second,
just to kind
sorry.
of reiterate on what you're saying, why I feel like one reason to have somebody help you with a video like that specifically is so that you can figure out what you should say and how you should say it. And unless your company's really worked through that and you already know exactly the messaging, but very rarely have I run across any company that actually is able to explain what they do super clearly in
Absolutely.
a minute or two or three,
And that's why I would say, and all the branding videos of many hundreds of branding videos that I've created for companies, they were always based on interviews. I'm a documentarian, so I think the best story is told by the person themselves. Always, not a voiceover, not a, because that sounds, that doesn't look authentic, if you want, but so usually I would say, in my opinion, the best way is to have someone interview you, interview some of your clients as well, to have it to be able to include some snippets from your clients, how they see your service. It's very important not to tout your own horn.
Yep.
But you can tell the story through an interview and what we call B-roll, and some B-roll of whatever, if it's physical or virtual, some visuals. But basically, the base of it, in my opinion, should be always interviews, an interview with a business owner and the clients as well.
Yeah, and I mean, again, I don't want to just be seconding what you're saying here, but being on camera takes a ton of practice.
Yeah.
I'm okay at it, and I've been on hundreds of videos at least, if not a couple thousand at this point. I don't know. I haven't exactly kept count, but I mean, well over 1,000 videos for sure. I've been on, and I'm just okay at it, and I've intentionally practiced it. Now, some people are really good just by nature. They tend to be really good on camera, but a lot of people aren't. And so if you've never done a video before, to try to get on and do a brand video where you're not answering questions, it's not in that interview format, most people are just going to be really bad at it because they don't have the reps to actually be good on camera.
Exactly. What I can tell you, what I usually do with clients when we're doing a branding video, it always starts like by us learning about the company, understanding and then you craft questions that will entice, that will bring those answers, that will talk about exactly how you help your clients. So it's a process, and it's good to have someone asking you the questions and helping you deliver. That's where someone that knows how to interview comes in handy, because sometimes people will give you a very short answer, and then you have to go from another angle and help them deliver. And that's when the results come. The person will be more relaxed too. As you say, if you have no experience in front of a camera, so many people they get very nervous. One of the things that I try to do as an interviewer with people is, first of all, have them be comfortable. Feel comfortable, kind of forget about the camera. Let's just have a conversation. And that changes everything. That changes the way you deliver, because you as a business owner, you know your stuff. You know how you help your clients. But to help you deliver that's another story.
Yeah. And again, most people it takes a lot of practice. And so
Yeah.
having that extra help. Okay, so we talked about the branding video, and then you were going to go into a couple more, and I jumped
So
in.
I would say the second thing. There are many videos, of course. If we're talking about your website, I could give you a little list. But I would say that the second video today it's not a second video; it's second type of video, social media videos. Absolutely. You know, I think every business today to for their marketing, for their branding, for to get more leads, you need to be active on social media. If you're a B2B business like myself, for example, you want to be active on LinkedIn, but maybe your preferred platform is Facebook. That's where your audience is. But doesn't matter where. I always think that the business should be creating video for different platforms also. But I would say social media videos, and those I would define them as short videos. I would say 15, 20, 30 seconds max that you post frequently, consistently. I would say at least once a week. Better if it's twice a week. I'm a little bit crazier with that. I post 6 times a week. Don't need to go crazy as I do, but I would say once or twice a week those short videos that you post. Now, those videos are what I call value videos or massive value videos, if you want. You're not selling anything. You're not telling about events or something that happened to you. You can do that sometimes. You can tell client stories and stuff. Yes, but the main thing I would define as just spill all your secrets. Talk about you know a lot of stuff that can be useful. The way you help your clients, you can talk about that, and people will learn. Two things here: if you're educating people, you're helping people. If you're educating people, people are more interested in watching, and you want people to watch your videos. So if they're gaining something from that, that's a big plus. That's a big plus. So that's one thing. And the other thing, you are establishing with those videos, you are establishing your authority as a professional. So and again, we are talking about establishing trust. So your image, your branding. Okay, so this is the type of video that I would say is number two, videos.
Yeah, and
those videos. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, and I think there's another. I totally agree with what you're saying as far as create videos where you're bringing value, where you're sharing, information. I think another, depending on your industry, could also be sharing updates of your industry. Now that doesn't work all the time. Like for me and you, sometimes you could do that, but it's pretty tough to make it work. Yeah. But I have I worked with a client that's in the drone detection space, and there's always new things coming out from the FAA regulating drones and what's going on with that. So for him, there's daily news coming out. And so it's super easy for him once a week to hop on and go, hey, here's the 3 things that have happened this week that you need to know with the FAA regarding drones or whatever, or, if you're an accountant and you're talking about, hey, by the way, the IRS just came out with a new regulation or new tax code that's updated for next year that you want to start thinking about and taking advantage of now, so that when you file your taxes next year, you could get the full advantage. So you've got your value videos where you're sharing your knowledge and expertise, but you could also have those value videos where you're updating people on what's going on in the space. And then another value of doing those regular videos is that it just takes practice to be on video. And in a sense, I think this part's a little tough because you want to be authentic and you want to be yourself. But what happens if you're authentically boring, and the way you talk isn't interesting? And it's actually funny because I found that some of the most confident people, so the people I've met who are the best at one-on-one conversations, are actually some of the worst people on video. And the reason I think that happens is because they're used to reading the other person, and they're used to using the reaction or the, what the other person's doing to get the energy and to, have the conversation. So you almost have to flip into this mode when you're creating video of acting, and it's not acting to be fake necessarily. That's not the point. It's like acting as if you were talking to somebody else, not acting as if you're talking into a camera, right? So then you have to go, well, if I was having this conversation with another person, what would I do? Am I going to sit and stare and read lines, or am I going to be more animated? Am I going to have vocal variety and vocal inflection? Am I going to use hand gestures, and that stuff?
Yeah, it's a little bit of acting, and that's true. But if you just need a little bit of practice. What I would say is this: one of the problems that if I say, okay, now let's create 2 videos a week. That's 8 videos a month. Okay. Many business owners will say, come on, what do I have to say twice a week, 8 times a month? I don't. And I say that's problem number 1. What am I going to say? New things. So one of the solutions for this problem is to repurpose everything you have in written form. And every business has blogs, articles, whatever knowledge based. It's your knowledge base, stuff that you wrote or stuff that you used, your words. But every business has a lot of that. So a way to make it easier is to create scripts with the help of AI. Come on, that's today it's much easier. If I said that a few years ago, that's a lot of work. No, but today it's easier. So
absolutely,
you were using your words, so you're not inventing, and the AI is not hallucinating here. You're using your words, your knowledge to create short scripts. What is a short script? For like I would say 100 words, 70 words. That's a short script for about 30 seconds or 20 seconds. And now, how do you do that? One of the ways to do that is to use a teleprompter app in your phone. I use it for myself. And why? Because everything I say in my videos are my words, my knowledge, but I write it down. Why? Because I have a bad tendency of going off on tangents. I do.
Yeah.
And I know. So I don't want this. And your video, if you're doing a value video, you don't want it to be mechanic or something. You want it to be very natural, but you want it to be on point, short and on point, and you want to deliver that value. So that's why I write my scripts. And as I said, it's not that difficult with the help of AI. And then if you use a teleprompter, as you said, it just takes a little bit of practice. What I do as a video coach with my clients is to help them learn to deliver in a way that it doesn't look as if they are reading.
Yeah.
It takes a little bit of practice. Maybe the first ones will not be great, and that's okay. You need to do that in order. You will look at that months after you started and say, "Oh, that was horrible." That's okay.
Yeah, that's and okay. A great way to that I've seen, and I'll kind of combine this into a couple of different things that you said. One thing I've done is I will record on like a voice note app or whatever. So maybe I'm driving in the car and I'm thinking about a topic, and I'll just record for 10 minutes of me just kind of talking through the idea, working through it, whatever. Then copy and paste that, and then you put it in ChatGPT or whatever you're using, and then you just say, "Hey, create me a 20-second or 30-second or 60-second script."
Yep.
Don't only use the words that are in here, and help me to structure it, in a way that's engaging or whatever. Yeah. And then you have it write out a script. The opening line is probably going to be terrible, so you go, "Hey, let's work on the hook. I want something more emotionally engaging. Help me to create something that sucks people in," right? And then it's going to come up with a couple different hook lines, and then you pick one that sounds right. Maybe you tweak it a little bit so it sounds like you. And then to your point, you're a lot of times better off to read it using a teleprompter app at first, and to maybe forever, but at least at first to get used to not rambling, to really stick to that idea. And then the other thing I'd say with that is it does take a lot of practice. So if you have been doing video for a year, when you look back at the video you created, the first video you created, you should kind of cringe a little bit, which means, you know, you've grown and you've gotten significantly better at doing it. And if you go back and you look at, you know, everybody pretty much has heard of Mr. Beast on YouTube. If you go back and look at his original videos, they're horrible. You know, he's like a 14-year-old kid, super awkward, right? But then it takes those reps. And that's where I like what you're saying about, you know, create these videos consistently, you know, once or twice a week. Because if you do that for a year, if it's once a week, you're going to have 52 reps. If it's a year, you know, if you're doing 2, you're going to have over 100 videos. And if you haven't improved over 100 videos and gotten significantly better, then, you know, you're doing something wrong at that point.
Yes. No, and I would say one thing more, little tip here on creating videos. I love your method of creating scripts as well. It's a great idea. The only thing I would say, recording twice a week, it's a little bit tough. I always recommend that people do it in batches. You need 8 videos a month, record once a month. You have the 8 scripts, you have a location, you know, you sit down or standing, whatever you want to do it, with your tripod, with your microphone, with your setup that you already, you know, and you just go and record your 8 videos. Shouldn't take you more than an hour. If it takes you 2 hours, if you want to practice more, that's okay, but shouldn't take more than that. And that any business owner can do.
Yeah.
And I would say, someone may ask, okay, why is it important that I am on camera? I would say it's for small, mid-sized businesses. Usually, you are the face of the business.
Yeah.
You know, you are the one leading the business. So it is important that you show up. It is important, but you have to have a system. And what we've been talking about, that's a system to, okay, once a month, I have this on my calendar. I sit down, I record my 8 videos, and that's it. You may have someone else to edit them for you, or if you're doing it yourself, you can do it edit them in your phone, add some motion capture titles, those different types of captions that people. It is important to do that, because many people don't listen to videos; they will only watch without sound. So, or for accessibility, you have always to remember that there are people that cannot listen. Okay, so create that. And one thing that I find important to do for those videos is always give the end with a call to action, and always with a call. Start with a hook, something that will make people curious, or provocative, or could be something more negative, provocative. That's okay, as long as you're not saying bad things. But something that will attract attention. That's the hook. It needs to be a few seconds of a hook. Then you have the value that you're giving, or the problem that you're talking about. And at the end, always end with a call to action. It could be as simple as, you know, if you want to learn more about what I said, DM me, or write in the comments. Ask people to do something. Also, never end the video without telling people what to do, because people really want to. And another thing, I always end my videos with a QR code, so people can access. I will go to my website, or whatever you want to put there. Give people another way to contact you if they are interested.
Love it. Yeah. So I mean, we could keep going on all day on this stuff. I love talking about it. But just for the sake of time, I'm actually going to shift a little bit from what I was thinking based on our conversation here, and round off a little different. So we were going to cover another topic, and then maybe give some people some practical steps. But I think we covered enough on all of that for people to get started. So I'll share my perspective on this, and then I'd love to get your perspective on it. So if you're a solopreneur and you really don't have any budget, you just need to create content and create videos, and, you know, do a couple a week, do, you know, you could do even more than that, right? And it's a huge differentiator for you as like a solopreneur. You're just kicking your business off. You got to figure out how you're going to talk about what you want to do. And one of the best ways to do that is just to create tons of videos, right? So get your phone out, get out less than $100 worth of equipment, and just start filming yourself. And then you could take out your phone, you could edit it on CapCut or whatever. If you want to add captions and all that, there's apps to do that, but you could use Descript on your computer and, you know, do it that way. So, you know, solopreneur, it kind of makes sense to do a lot of that because you probably don't have a lot of budget. And then maybe if you're going to spend money, work with Neco or somebody like Neco on the coaching piece of like, what do I actually talk about, right? But then, you know, once you get to a certain point, you don't have the time you don't have the time, right? But you probably do have the budget. And at that point, it starts making sense to work with an editor. So Neco, first of all, I'd love for you to kind of share your perspective. And if you disagree, that's totally fine, on, you know, when you should do something yourself versus bringing in an editor, and then, or, you know, or somebody to help you. And then also, what are some of the questions that people should ask an editor, or what should they be looking for in a video partner once they go to actually hire somebody in?
Okay. So first of all, yeah, there. If you started from the solopreneur, you can do it all yourself. That's of course that's less of an expense, but you will spend more time. Time is money, because if you're a business owner, you should be spending most of your time bringing more business. You know, and posting a good amount of video consistently, as I said, twice a week, and you don't want to stop. I just want to say one thing important about that. Once you start, you don't want to stop, because if you start posting on LinkedIn, the algorithm will start helping you because you're posting valuable content. More people will see, and that's how you build your audience and engagement. But if you stop because you don't have time, or you know, or you're not inspired, I don't know, for a while, then you kind of have to start from the beginning again, start from scratch. All your work went down the drain. So it's important. That's why it's important to have a system to create it consistently. You know, I'm saying that because I hear too many people saying, yeah, I tried, I posted a video and I didn't see any results. Well, you posted a video. You know, it takes time.
Yeah.
So the first thing, be patient and be consistent.
Yeah.
It does take time. You can't post once or twice and say, oh, it's not working, because it will not work. So when you start alone, recording the videos, I think we covered some good ways for creating scripts and do it in batches and all. Now, and that's the part that to create the scripts, also you can use the help of a virtual assistant, you know, if you don't have the time. And that's something that people can do today. It's not a big expense. You can find excellent virtual assistants for a pretty low budget, and will do an excellent job. That's one thing. Now, you talk about editing. When do you need editing? Well, it's easy to take an app like CapCut and edit your videos. Again, that's work, that's time. You'll have to. It's easy, but you'll have to learn how to do it.
Yeah.
You know, and there are little things that, you know, when an editor is helping you, the editor will you want an editor that will know the minimum, you know, to clean up the video, like that movement that you do in the beginning to you don't want that there, like turning on, turning off, like cleaning up a little, make it more professional. Doesn't need to be a super production, but a little bit more steady. Many times you want to improve the quality of the video itself, of the audio itself. Many tools that can be used for that. An editor can help you do. So you want an editor that knows at least how to do that.
Absolutely.
The other thing is adding those titles that are important. many apps can do that. Again, you can learn to do it yourself, or you can hire someone that will be able to do that, and you just give them the videos.
And I'll say, Neco, it is very time consuming to edit your own videos.
Yeah.
So like, if you have the budget at all, then it definitely makes sense to bring somebody in. So,
it's not
so
a big
what are some
budget.
things
Not
that
a
you?
big budget. Yeah.
So if somebody's like, hey, I need to hire an editor. I don't have time to do this. I see the value. What are some things they should be looking for? What are some questions they should ask when they're looking for? I mean, not just an editor, but somebody to help them with video across the board.
Well, first of all, from an editor, you should look for someone that is that's what they do for a living, a video editor. And I'm saying that because you'll find many people that do they're kind of jack of all trades, and I'll post it for you, and I'll create this and I'll create that. For video editing, it's better to get someone that has at least a couple of years of experience. That's my criteria. Doing videos, creating different types of videos, and not only video clips. Usually what I would say, if the editor has some experience in documentary style, that's the best way to go. Documentary style, or people speaking on camera, or either being interviewed or not. That's a criteria that I use. And I always say, and I always ask my editors that I'm interviewing to work with us, if they have any experience. If they don't have any, if they haven't dealt with interviews or people on camera, I wouldn't hire them.
Yeah.
Okay. And they have to have some minimal technical skills. You have to make sure that they know all the little things that we talked, how to create those titles, how to clean it up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well,
and you were asking about other requirements besides editors?
Yeah. So then if somebody, ultimately, like if somebody's looking to have somebody help them with video, and by across the board, I just mean like editing is obviously one piece of it, but then there's scripting, there's knowing what to say, there's knowing the strategy behind what videos you create. So like if they're coming to work with a company like yours, what are some things that they should be looking for?
Well, you want someone that first of all will if you're looking for a video provider, and it could be and I'm talking about both, like a video production company like we are. First of all, you can do it remotely or on location, but that's the same. First of all, you want someone that will the first thing that they want to do is learn about your business. You have too many. You have not too many, but sometimes people have an idea for a video that they want to do, and they come to me and they say, "Oh, I want to do the video this way and that way," and usually what I do, I ask them, wait. Why do you want to do this video? Why? Let's talk about the why. The how, we'll see afterwards. So that's what you want from a video production company is the how comes in second place. First of all, you want to understand the goal. And that's what you want from the video production company, to understand what is your goal with the specific video that you want to create. What do you want to achieve with that? And start and learn about your company to know what to ask you, to know how to build. So you expect from that company to come with a creative concept for you, based on what they learned from you. If they don't ask you those questions in the beginning, they just say, no problem, I'll do the video. You want this? I would say that's not who you want to work with. They may be cheaper. They probably will, but the result, I don't think, will be something that you want. So I would say start from that, and of course you want to check what that company has done in the past. Check their experience, check their portfolio, see if they've done stuff like that. So that don't just go, if what you have in mind they haven't done anything like that, and you can see, probably not the right kind of company for you to work with.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. Awesome, Neco. Well, thanks so much for jumping on. How can people learn more about you and what you're up to?
Well, people can go to our website. My company's name is Leib Productions, Leib Productions. So leibproductions.com is my website. The easiest way to find me is on LinkedIn. I'm there all the time. So I promise to answer any questions. So if you want to reach out to me on LinkedIn, want to have a conversation, I'm happy to jump on a one-on-one. So you can find me easily on LinkedIn, or as I said, through my website. We're on Facebook as well, Lay Productions. So all over.
Awesome. Well, thanks again. Really appreciate you joining me, and look forward to talking to you again.
Thank you.